Hey people, what's going on? Welcome to Real Tough Talk. Tough Talk.
How is that even possible?
Tough Talk.
Whoa! Stephen J. partner goes,
Show some respect. You did not answer the question.
he's a bad man.
Bad man.
He's a bad. He finally said it.
The slipper's gone. The dress has holes in it. The cart turned into a pumpkin again. So what else you gonna
I
do?
guess this team couldn't cover a twin mattress with a king size sheet. Lights out season.
Lights out for you. Let's get as quick into the game as possible because I am not staying in this wig longer than I have to.
I want to party. Play it out, bro. While you talking this game. Hey, what's going on, people? I want to thank y'all once again for joining us on this next episode of Real Tough Talk. I'm excited to be here with you as we come into the last week, heading into the playoffs. Everybody's trying to finalize the season on a good note and get a little momentum as playoff time arrives.
Well, these games, the ones that are being played this week, are games that a lot of teams are trying to use to set the tone for the playoffs when they first go in the first round. Some are playing to make sure that they solidify their bye week. You know, some teams are ahead of the pack, so they want to solidify their bye for the first week. And some is trying to get the rhythm, like you said, the momentum going so that they can be ready and take that momentum into the first game of the playoffs.
And we're going to go in first telling you about a few teams that forfeited. You're going to have ILD forfeit their game. They had the Browns.
Yeah.
They're going to forfeit. So ILD is going to end the season at 6-2. But they're still going to lock up their number one seed. Carver Mob is going to do the same thing as they're going to forfeit their games. They had 2 games. One of them was also against the Browns. And they're going to end up going 5-2 for the season. But they still lock up number one seed because they beat everybody in their division.
Yeah.
So you kind of understand why these teams did it, because now they get this week off, they get next week off. They don't play until the second round of the playoffs. And you can understand why both teams would do that to worry about rest and not record.
Yeah, obviously the winter season can actually take a lot out of you. So you want to rest up, especially in the playoffs, and then you get a leg up when you get a week off during the playoffs to actually set up and be prepared for the team that you face afterwards.
Well, the great thing about it, though, we still have some football to play. We
Yes.
still have teams that need these games, and we're going to jump right into that. You're going to have Never Scared playing UTF. Now, UTF pretty much is going to lock in the number 4 seed at 3-3. So even if they win this, they'll go 3-4. If they lose it, they go 3-4. If they win it, they go 4-3, and they'll kind of still sit with the same record. So at the end of the day, this really doesn't help them, but it does get them in position to prepare themselves for the playoff run. And as you see, Never Scared is playing. Never Scared is playing a huge game as they're trying to move up in the standings. Right now, Never Scared is in 4th place, and they're trying to move up in the standings. So we're going to jump into that. This is a big game, Never Scared versus UTF. UTF is coming in with the number 6 offense, but the number 4 defense. They're able to make some stops when they need to. That's a very good sign of this team. Never Scared comes in with the number 7th offense and number 10th defense. Kind of step back from last year, ending the year with the number 2 offense in the league. What do you think kind of changed as far as Never Scared this season?
A lot of performance differences from this year and last year. One, run Fred's main target out there, which was Sean, has taken a big step back this season. I believe he only has 1 touchdown this season. So the scale back from tying the Offensive Player of the Year with 8 touchdowns last year in Brandon of YMM to going all the way down to 1 touchdown. That is a huge difference. That is a huge decline, and you saw it affect the team as a whole. Then you have Fred, not necessarily because, Fred not necessarily playing as well as he did last year as well, taking a huge hit in the last few games. I believe they had a 3-game losing streak.
Yeah, he has 13 touchdowns coming into this game. Last year he finished the season with 19.
Yes, so it's a huge decline. And if you look at those numbers, you take away the numbers that Sean didn't get this year, and it directly correlates with what the decline was for Fred. So they're both connected with their decline, and that is one of the reasons why their offense as a whole declined as well.
And I know a lot of people was concerned with Ramsey coming in this year for UTF. You know, you had certain guys, even Maine, saying that it was a bad move for him to go after this guy. Ramsey's not a Ramsey's fan, but if you look at Ramsey's numbers right now, 15 touchdown passes to only 4 interceptions, different from his last year. 14 touchdown passes with 11 interceptions. Definitely limited his turnovers this year. Definitely played better on the ball. But I think he had a few more weapons on this team. Not really a downfield threat, which caused him to limit his attempts of throwing too many bombs.
Yeah.
Which kind of take away from the interceptions he had last year. All right, we're going to jump right into the game. Never Scared versus UTF. Ramsey's going to get the ball for UTF first. Ramsey with a blocker from Frankie. Throws deep to JP in the middle. Picked off by Boyd. Boyd gets the ball back from Never Scared. If you look here, JP was not open. Ramsey took the shot, and they made him pay for it. And
Boyd is returning after a few games he missed for this Never Scared team. He is a big-time defender, a two-way player for this team, and he's showing their benefit with having him on the field right away.
Fred throws it in the gap, who runs for a decent gain, getting him to the 48-yard line. Second down, Fred gets blitzed by Eric, who gets blocked by Eric, but the sack is on Lionel. Lionel comes away with the sack. I think it was too much for Eric to try to block everybody, and definitely gave up this sack here. After getting the first down, Fred throws to Julian in the gap for a decent gain. Second down, Fred on 4 rush, throws to Julian again on the sideline for a decent gain, get him to the 15-yard line. Third down, Fred is blitzed, but blocked by Eric. Fred throws to Julian in the middle at the 5-yard line. Fourth and goal, Fred finds Ouija in the corner end zone for the touchdown. He gets the extra point. 7-0, Never Scared.
And this whole drive after they got the first down was all Julian. He stepped up on this drive to give Fred a definite target throughout, and because of that, they're able to drive into the end zone. That's just good play by Julian.
Ramsey's going to get the ball on third down on 4 rush. He runs, but is tagged by Smoke for a little gain. Great to have Smoke back. He missed a few games because of work, but it's nothing like having your main giver back. Great play by him there. After getting the first down, Ramsey's blitzed by Just, who's picked up by Frankie. Ramsey throws a Prodigy in the gap for a decent gain. Second down, Ramsey throws a Prodigy again in the middle to get them to the 10-yard line. Last down, Ramsey throws a pig in the back of the end zone, off target, incomplete, turnover on downs. Ramsey has 2 blockers, but throws the ball away. Not looking accurate, they're going to end up turning the ball over.
And the thing about it is he has 2 of his blockers, G and Frankie, that are very capable and have been protecting him well this season. But yet still, he doesn't even give him a chance to block and let the play develop. He sees Pig cutting in the back of the end zone. He takes a shot. It's inaccurate on that pass. And because of that, that is a quick turnover for UTF.
After 2 short passes, Fred on third down gets blitzed by Eric, who's blocked by Eric. Try to say that fast. Both teams has Erics, and both team guys are getting busy. Fred throws the Jail in the gap for a decent gain, getting him to the 45-yard line. Jail's been playing great. The guy better be an all-star, or else I need to see the guys who pick the all-stars.
But you're one of them.
But he needs to be an all-star. He's having a good season. Definitely was picked up from last year. Looking good this season. Last time, Fred throws deep to Boyd, who has a step-on lane in the gap. Ball is off target, turnover on downs, giving it right back to UTF.
Honestly, that is a shot that I see Ramsey taking, but to see Fred taking that shot, knowing that he had a first down opportunity here, yes, he saw Boyd with the with a separation here, but I don't think that is a chance I would take. It's very windy today, so you have to minimize those shots that you take because Fred goes for it, it leads off target, and it causes a turnover.
Third down, Ramsey with blocking from G, throws to JP, open in the middle for a nice gain, getting to the 10-yard line. JP's a guy who's definitely, within the last few weeks, is dying to make the all-star team. He's got more involved in the offense. Ramsey's found him more in the offense. He's definitely a capable receiver. Great way for them to get him involved. Fourth and goal, Ramsey with blocker from Frankie. Finds Trey cutting in the front of the end zone for the touchdown. If you look here, Smoke struggles to get through the block, which gives him Ramsey more time to find Trey in the end zone. Prodigy gets a 2-point conversion. 8-7. UCF takes the lead. Trey didn't like the fact that last week I said he should not be on offense. He should never be on offense. He shouldn't touch offense. And they find him here. He kind of make me eat my word. But you know, a broken clock is right twice a day, and he might be right this time.
And just to make them feel good on this play here, let's look at Jay's face. He's the ref right there on that play, and they kind of make him eat his words. You see the little smirk on his face as he, as he makes the touchdown signal. It is what it is. He has his criticism. I'm sure you still gonna say that he shouldn't be on offense, but at least he makes this play here for the touchdown for UTF.
A broken clock is right.
Yes.
Let's throw it back into the game. After getting the first down, Fred throws a Ouija in the gap for a decent gain. Third down, Fred with blocker from Eric throws a Sean in the gap, gets him to the 10-yard line. Eric is a very physical blocker. He's great at giving time. He's good at moving his feet, and he gives Fred a lot of time. I like the way this guy blocked. Kind of struggled last week with a smaller size guys, but this week it looked like he's means business. Last time, Fred is blitzed by Lane. Blocked by Eric. Fred throws the region in front of the end zone. Knocked away by AK, making it stop. Turnover on downs. AK showing that he still has a little bit left in the tank. He kind of declined, similar to when we see Ed Reed decline a little bit. But he still showed the capability to make plays here and there. That's a big play by him.
And that's all defensive IQ right there, experience. So he knows what position he needs to be. He can read where the quarterback is looking, and he can react on time on plays like this where he's in the vicinity. He makes a knockdown for the key defensive play to cause a turnover.
UTF gets the ball back, but they're going to have to punt. Remember, right now it is 8-7. This is a straight-through game, so it's not going to be no halftime, straight through. It was a halftime, but it was more of an in and out.
Yeah.
Barely stopped. So just to let y'all know, this is what's going to keep going. UTF punt number is 8-7. Fred on 4 rush, throws Luigi in the gap for a decent game. If you look here, Oakley's him open at the last second. Second down, after getting the first, Fred with blocker from Eric, runs in the gap for a nice gain all the way to the 25-yard line. People underestimate the ability for Fred to run the ball. He makes him pay. Big run by him here.
And the thing about that, because Eric gives him that much time to make his decision whether he's going to throw or run, that is a big benefit to Fred, who you call Ben Roethlisberger. He's able to take off here and get some good yardage to keep the drive going here.
Third down, Fred gets blitzed by Lay. Eric picks him up. Fred throws a Sean in the gap, get him to the 3-yard line. Great to get Sean involved. Not having the offensive year he had last year, but definitely still show his ability to make plays. Fourth and goal with blocker from Eric. Fred finds jail, cutting in the end zone for the touchdown. 13-8. They take the lead. J.O. better be an all-star, or I'm fighting somebody.
I need to know how many touchdowns he has at this point, because I think he has about 6 or 7.
I'm going to go in the book while you
listen,
go
hurry
over
up,
the play.
get the numbers here. But one thing I got to say is throughout this drive, if you notice, Fred attacks the gaps in and out of every single play. He even runs through the gaps when he had a chance during this drive. So it seems like UTF has issues with the gaps, and I put that on the linebackers. I put that on Ock. That's his position there. He has to know where the receivers are in the gaps, because Fred is finding his receivers, and they're able to get downfield and get the score at the end.
That's J.O.'s 5th touchdown of the year. 5 touchdowns, but he also has 3 extra points and 1 2-point conversion. So they get him involved all around in the passing game. After getting the first down, Ramsey on 4 rush runs for a nice game, getting him to the 30-yard line. Remember, 13-8 is their last drive. They're trying to take this lead. Second down, Ramsey's blitzed by Justice, blocked by G. Ramsey throws it to Prodigy, who has a stepped on E on the sideline. That's going to be dropped. Huge drop. Prodigy's always a guy I see stepping forward and never really can isolate, never can really be the player that I expect him to be. That's a huge drop by him there. Ramsey with blocker from G runs across the gap to get them to the 15-yard line. Last down, Ramsey with blocker from G. Those are Prodigy cutting in front of the end zone. That's going to be dropped. End of the game. Never scared with the win, 13-8. They're going to finish this season at 4-3.
And all I got to say is, after dropping 1 touchdown pass, you get another opportunity. Ramsey goes back to you again as you get open, and then you drop another touchdown pass. That is not boding well as they lead into the playoffs. Again, these games are to set the tone for the playoffs. And to end a game like that, showing that you're going to drop touchdown passes, that's not nothing. You're going to get the quarterback to have confidence in you moving forward, and that's going to hurt his own morale later on, because now that's a receiver that he can't rely on when it matters on plays like this. because of this, a win that was in their hands ends up becoming a loss.
Well, first of all, I'm going to give a shout out to Ramsey. Ends the season 16 touchdowns, only 5 interceptions. And like I say, with all the quarterbacks this year, interceptions has been way down.
Yes.
Compared to last year. And on the other hand, Fred is going to finish the season 15-5. 15 touchdowns, 5 interceptions. A little less than this 19 touchdown passes last year. But definitely they finished the season 3-4 over 500. They got to be happy about that. UTF lost this game. They made several mistakes that cost them. I know they love killing Ramsey. Ramsey played well this whole season. He needs more playmakers.
Yeah.
Prodigy showed the ability to be very inconsistent. One week we see him and we look like he's going to step to the next tier, and then next week we don't. Like I said, you know my way I say, I got superstar, I got star, I got all-star, starter, and role player. Prodigy is a starting role player. That's what he is. So like I said, superstar, star, all-star, starting role player. He's a starting role player. Every time I think this man is going to step up to be an all-star, he doesn't. We see Ott make a great play early in the game, but then we see him leave a space open in the gap. JP showing the ability to make some plays. The guy needs to stop running deep. It's not a downfield threat. So we've seen, like I said, several mistakes they made. You know, we've seen Trey catch a touchdown, but he did drop a pass early in the game that we didn't really show. All I'm saying is this team has the ability to beat teams. Yeah. I'm not going to say they could beat anybody. You know, you usually got a team you say they could beat anybody. This team isn't one of them. I think they have the talent, but they never are able to put everything together in order to beat that team that could dominate games. And I think that's the problem, as well as too many Chiefs, not enough Indians.
And to speak about never scared,
this team is still number 10th in defense. This team has one of the top quarterbacks.
Yes.
Of all time.
Yes.
Sean, a most improved player.
Mm-hmm.
But Sean didn't look like Sean last year.
No.
Their two best players this season is Ouija and Jail. Two guys that do not have speed. So, if you have Sean not showing the ability to make big plays and get open downfield, and your two best receivers is a slot receiver, tight end, and a former running back who's not an elusive back anymore, you're going to have a decline in your offense, which is what they had. Their defense is always going to be bad. They're just a bad defense.
Yes.
But they had a decline in their offense from 2nd to 7th. That has to be a concern going into the playoffs.
Yes, I get that. But my thing is, the way that they were able to play this game, where a lot of guys stepped up, this is the way that they need to play moving forward. That's what I'm saying. I'm not saying that, they're a team that's going to shut anybody down with their defense. I didn't say that. I said they have guys that can make plays when it counts. Boyd is a playmaker when it counts. You have E, who is a playmaker when it counts. Yeah. Sean, even though he declined on offense, he stepped up on defense.
Yes,
he is a playmaker on defense when it counts.
Even though the team is 10th in defense.
Like I said, the numbers don't show what a lot of their playmakers can do. That's why I said they can surprise people when their playmakers play.
Where they were 4th in interceptions.
Exactly.
And 6th and 4th in sacks.
So, again, the number 10th, because of the points that they give up, doesn't show how talented some of their playmakers are on this defense. So if they all make plays the way that they need to, the number 10 won't really matter much if they're able to play that high.
And what's your opinion on UTF before we wrap this one up?
UTF, I think that they're in the middle of the pack throughout all the teams in this division. It's hard to get a read on them because
seventh in interceptions, 6th in sacks, then number 4th defense.
Yes. So my
only
thing is,
giving up 11.8.
It's the opposite with them. They have a good defense on paper, but they don't put up numbers on defense for you to be scared of them, because a lot of times they outscore other teams.
Yeah, they're 6th in scoring.
So my thing is this. The fact that they don't have a high interception level, they drop a lot of interceptions.
Yes.
They don't really pressure the quarterback too much.
No.
So that's two things that you need on your defense for your defense to be effective. And they don't do either consistently. Then you go on the offense and you have Trey that's on offense, but not necessarily the playmaker he needs to be. You say he shouldn't even be there.
No.
I say if you're going to use him, he has to be consistent.
Okay.
That's one. Two, Prodigy really killed him this last game. He killed him. But he's a better player than he showed all season.
Okay.
He has to step up and show the potential he has in the game when it matters. Then you have JP, who's trying to do too much. I think he's more worried about the All-Star game than having his team get to where they need to go, probably trying to get into the championship.
I mean, the kid, listen.
Listen, no.
The kid is a stat guy.
Let me finish. He's always been a stat guy. We both know this. From when he played with House Gang, from when he played with Rose G's. He's been a stat guy all his career. He has to change that. We mentioned that he has to be a leader on the team or whatever. Okay, that's whether he's going to be that guy to take charge is one thing. But to set the tone for everybody else, that's something that he can be. He can lead the charge in sacrificing for other players. He doesn't always do that. But I feel like he can. He's talented enough to draw the attention off of the defense, off of his other receivers. So he can do that. They need that. So other than that, Ramsey, again, that's been the highlight of their season, this offense. He's played a lot better than he has in the past. But he can't fall into being the same old Ramsey. Taking shots that he doesn't need to take, not taking the safe plays, going short. If he falls into that problem, the way he has in the past in the playoffs, they're going to fall short.
Well, Ghost has a lot to say. Wow. I don't agree with everything.
Because I have hopes for this team. That's all I'm saying. They have potential. They just got to show it when it matters.
Well, we're going to wrap this one up. Never Scared with the win over UTF, 13-8. We'll be right back. Next game up, Rep City versus Team X. Now, Rep City has a tough day. They have 2 games. They pretty much people figure they're going to win the Wolverines game, but you never know. But if they can win this game and win the next game, they can lock up the number 5 seed. Mm-hmm. The Browns are going to win both games off a forfeit. Carver Mob is going to forfeit to them, and IOD is going to forfeit to them. So they're going to end the season at 3-5. Mm-hmm. Rep City beat the Browns this season. Rep City needs to win out, and they can lock up the number 5. Mm-hmm. And why is that important? Well, UTF is the number 4.
Yeah.
ILD gets a bye. They're gone. So 99 locked up the number 2 with the win, and we're gonna see YMM possibly look like they're gonna lock up the number 3, win or lose, because they'll have a better record than UTF. But the bottom line is, if you're Rep City, if you win both games, you'll play UTF rather than play YMM. Mm-hmm. So that's why this game is very important to them. Now on the other side, Team X comes into this game 2-4. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Team X is trying to end the season on a good note. If they can get this game in, they could change their standings in the playoffs. Mm-hmm. So we'll go through that at the end of the show when we go through the matches. The bottom line is, Team X has not been the team that everybody expected them to be. This team was expected to be high-powered with talent, but we see the biggest thing with them was the quarterback position. Team X is number 12th in offense. The only team that has a worse offense is the Wolverines at 13th, and both teams on record is because both teams don't have a quarterback. Team X had a quarterback. They gave him a 1-game shot. We haven't heard from him since, and I think that was the worst move they could make, but that's no here nor there. They need to get this game in, but it's funny because they go through another quarterback. Dre gets to start this game.
Yes, and he already played throughout earlier this season.
Which he won.
Yes, he won that game, but he was only able to score 7 points in that game. So would he be able to play in that same frame and only score 7 points again? I don't think that they would want that performance again, because the Rep City team can surprise them and steal a win from them. Even though they've been struggling, they've been having quarterback issues themselves, they can steal this game if they don't play properly. Mm-hmm.
Tess gets the start. He's been struggling this season. We'll talk more about him at the end of the game when we see how it happens. Tess throws around on the sideline for a nice game, picking up the first down. Third down, Tess is blitzed by Tim. who's blocked by B-Dot. Test throws and meets in the gap for a decent gain, getting to the 10-yard line. 4th down, Test throws the deep ball in the back of the end zone. Makes a catch, but can't keep both feet in bounds. Turnover on downs, they get stopped.
The worst thing about Test is he always looks like he's under pressure. He doesn't stay still. He doesn't throw accurate passes because it looks like he doesn't trust his line. He doesn't trust his blockers. And he's hesitant to make things happen because he's always looking for where the pressure's coming from. And I think it's affecting his game right from the beginning.
Team X is not going to be able to do nothing. They're going to go 3 and out, and they're going to end up punting. They give the ball back to Rep City. 2nd down, Test on 4 rush, throws the B-Dot in the middle for a decent gain. 3rd down, Test is blitzed by Tim, who gets blocked by Horse and B-Dot. Scrambles and throws the cello in the gap for a decent gain, getting to the 20-yard line. 4th and goal, Test throws in the end zone, knocked away, turnover and downs. They're stopped once again. And the question is, does Test even think Test should be the starting quarterback? Because I see him in BQFL, and the dude makes plays. He runs around. He makes good plays with his feet and with his arm. But in UFL, I don't know if it's the camera. I don't know if it's because the air is different in the Bronx. I don't know if because the field is too open. I don't know if because sometimes we have maybe police there. I don't know what's the reason. But he does not look like the same quarterback he looks like when he plays for you. Dre's going to get the ball back. He's going to throw to Henry on the sideline for a decent game. 2nd down, Dre throws the J-Will in the middle to get them to the 40-yard line. 4th down, Dre will block it from Baby, throws the J-Will, cutting in the gap for a decent game, picking up the 1st down. I love the fact that Dre has picked up a rhythm. He's able to move the ball around. Big blocking by Baby here to get them the 1st down. And I feel very uncomfortable saying, calling another man Baby. Dre with 2 passes in the gap for a decent game, getting them to the 15-yard line. Last down, Dre on 4 rush, rolls right, throws it up. Almost picked off by Rel. Turnover on downs. Team X gets stopped again.
And a decent drive all the way towards the end until they get closer to the red zone. Then Rep City is able to lock up towards the end and is able to make a stop. I like that Dre improved the way he's able to move the ball. I think it's because he's starting to get used to the pressure coming in, and he has confidence in Baby as a blocker, but he still hasn't settled in as the quarterback to get that score towards the end of the drive.
2nd down, Test gets blitzed by Tim, who gets through B-Dot, gets Test for the sack. B-Dot wanted a flag for holding. None was given, taking us into the half 0-0. What do you think of the sack?
Tim just gets through. If you look at this play here, Tim is able to push B-Dot back and then slap his hands away as B-Dot goes to block, and then pull and then waste himself around. He doesn't grab him. He just uses his hand to push past him. Which is a move. That is a move. That's a move that's legal. He's not holding him. He's just moving past him. That's a great move by Tim to get through a capable blocker, but like B-Dot, and get through for the sack. Tim has been doing it ever since he stepped on the field. He wasn't on the field last couple games, and I think that kind of hurt the pressure on his defense. But when Tim is here, he's able to get through on that blitz and make things happen out there.
This is pathetic. B-Dot has over 100 pounds on Tim. And Tim slides him away like a ragdoll. B-Dot is one that, I'm a fan and always says that nobody blocks like him. But then you let Tim, a guy that has at least 100 pounds lighter than you, get by you. Something's wrong with that.
I'm not gonna stick on it, but I kind of disagree. If you look at Tim throughout the season, he's been getting through some guys.
That's not the problem. The problem that I'm talking about is B-Dot.
Okay.
So you're saying
it don't matter about anybody else. He shouldn't be getting through B-Dot.
Absolutely.
I get that point.
That's going to take us into the half 0-0.
And regardless of what happened, and I'm going to say with both teams, Dre kind of improved at the way he was able to drive down the field on that last drive, but it's still incumbent into any touchdowns, any points. So if you look at it, both teams are struggling in the same way at the quarterback position. They're not able to settle in and have any game plans on offense. And as you see, they are tied 0-0 in the half.
You said Dre improved.
I said a little bit, but it wasn't enough.
I respect that. That's just like me saying, well, I want to ask a girl on a date. I'm trying to get a date with a girl. So, picked up the phone, hung up. Pick up the phone, hung up. Pick up the phone, dialed the number, and hung up. There's still no progress because I haven't spoken to her yet. I understand what you're saying. He improved. He still hasn't gotten to the end zone.
It's only first half.
So at the end of the day, the improvement is at least it's only 0-0. On the other side, Rep City, same problem. The problem is Tess is looking for pressure that's not there. But when you see B-Dot get beat by Tim the way he did,
yeah,
you can understand why Tess is scared of ghosts. Because you hear it.
Yeah.
You may not see it, but you hear it. And when you got B-Dot getting thrown around this way, you got to understand why he's scared.
True.
You got to understand why he's throwing the ball to people who he shouldn't be throwing the ball to, similar to throwing it to the other team. Both these offenses are bad. Rep City's 11th. Team X is 12th.
Mm-hmm.
This is an embarrassment, and this is a disrespect to my eyes. Both these teams have immaculate talent. But it doesn't matter the type of rims you got on the bus. It doesn't matter if you have tinted windows on the bus. If you don't have a driver, I don't think you're getting anywhere. And that's the problem with both teams, which is why both teams right now are combined 3-9. We're going to get back into the game in the second half. Rant over. Team X gets the ball at the 50 on the throw off, 4 and out. Dre throws a killer in the middle for a decent gain. Second down, Dre throws deep to Tim in the middle, almost picked off by Meach. Third down, Dre throws it to Tim, who gets a decent gain, but Henry is flagged for the late hit. What you think of that?
And I think that this was a late hit. If you look here, as Tim gets tagged here, the whistle's blown. Henry's still in play mode, but unfortunately he gets caught with the hit right after the whistle's blown. So regardless of if it was intentional or not, he gets caught with the late hit, and that's why the flag was thrown.
Fourth down, Dre throws the J-Will in the back of the end zone for the touchdown. If you look here, Henry's playing the line, and J-Will goes right by him. Tim gets the extra point, 7-0, Team X.
And I don't know if it was because of the late hit that happened that the flag was thrown on him, but he was not paying attention. It looked like he was playing too close. Probably was waiting to rush in on full rush. Because of that, he gets taken advantage of as Dre is able to find J. Will, who gets right by Henry for the open touchdown here.
And this is what I like to see. This is a good play by Dre. First of all, Henry couldn't guard J. Will on the phone. Remember I talked about J. Will being Thanos? This is what I'm talking about. When he see Henry on him, he know he can't stay with him. Dre know he can't stay with him, and they go after him. That is what the quarterback is supposed to do, but that's what a receiver as J. Will, who is dominant, is supposed to do. That gets you points, and that's why they scored there. Tim gets blitzed by, next drive, Tess gets blitzed by Tim. Runs on the sideline for a decent gain. Second down, Tess throws to Sonny on the sideline for a decent gain, picking up the first. Tess throws to Cello in the gap, passes low. Cello makes a catch. Ref said it hit the floor, incomplete. Was this a catch? The ref said it hit the floor. What do you think?
And if you look at this play, you know, they were calling it a catch and, you know, that he got his hand under the ball. But if you look slowly, frame by frame, and that's why you can't really argue with the refs on this play, but if you look at this frame by frame, the ball looks like it does touch the ground before it goes under on top of Cello's hand. It doesn't hit his hand before it hits the ground, and that's why that was a merited incomplete pass. If you look, it does touch the floor before Cello gains control.
Great calls by the refs. Second down, Tess on forward rush, runs on the sideline for a short gain. If you look here, he runs right away. Tess is not comfortable in the pocket, and it shows in this play. Last down, Tess on forward rush, throws it to B-Dot in the back of the end zone. Tip knocked away by Ralph. Turnover on downs, another stop by Team X.
And I think that one play where he ran right away on that down, I think that kind of hurt their drive here. They weren't able to get closer to the end zone because Tess is fearing for his life out there. So it seems like he doesn't want to wait for the pressure to come. He takes off. Rather than wait and let the play develop, he takes off. He doesn't get much yardage, and that leads to an all or nothing fourth down play where he's not able to get it to B-Dot. That's just Tess not being comfortable, and it leads to a turnover.
Dre with 2 short passes for a decent gain, getting him to the 40-yard line. Fourth down, Dre on forward rush, throws to Khalil, cutting in the gap for a decent gain, picking up the first down. Now, if you're looking for a bright spot, Khalil is it. I like this guy playing. He plays intense. He's able to find the ball, and they got to get this guy more involved in the offense because he can make plays. Second down, Dre is blitzed by Henry, but sacked by B-Dot. B-Dot has been playing very well at ball game. Not great, but played very well. For his size, he shows the ability to move, and he gets a big sack here. Third down, Dre on full rush. Those are J-Will on the sideline. Reem misses tag. J-Will runs in the gap for a nice gain, getting him to the 20-yard line. Thanos, this is when I say I need him to Thanos people. This is what he does. Big game by J-Will.
I still don't like that phrase, but it seems like you're going to continue to use it. That's fine. I kind of get what you're saying. I just still don't like that phrase. If anybody sees this, please let Jay know if they like this phrase or not. Just let them know.
Fourth down, Dre throws it up to Khalil in the back of the end zone. Khalil with a catch over Lucky and Meech for the touchdown. 13 zip, and my man Lucky. See him lighting up right now? My man Meech. See him lighting up right now? Guess what, guys? You definitely did get mossed by my man Khalil.
And this man has been killing the last few games. He's been showing his presence on the field, showing that not only do they have J-Will, not only do they have Ralph, not only do they have Tim, not only do they have Nomar or all of these guys on offense, they also have Khalil, who's also a playmaker on both sides of the field, and he goes up and snatches that ball regardless of what defenders are around him. That's an impressive play right there.
Rep City gets the ball. Second down, Test throws to Steve-O in the middle. That's going to be dropped. Third down, Test throws to B-Dot in the gap. That's going to be dropped. Last down at the 40-yard line, Test throws to the Meech, knocked away, incomplete, ending the game. 13-0, Team X with the win.
And even though it looked like at the end of the day, Rep City didn't really have much of a chance to come back afterwards, this last drive
sums up their offense this year.
Pretty much. And if you look at this, you can't only blame Test on this play right here. You can't only blame Test for why their offense is pathetic right now. One, you have guys that should be catching the ball, dropping it. So that doesn't lead to any more confidence from Test. Then you have B-Dot missing blocks. And because of that, that doesn't give any more confidence to Test. And then you don't hear nothing from Rel. Rel has not been in this game. He has not been a target for Test. So that leads to no offense. Why do you think they are one of the worst in the league right now? You put all of that together, and it merits why they're in the position that they're in and why they earned another loss in this day. They have another game, but the fact that they weren't able to win this one, which was also important, is shameful to this team who's played so much better even last season.
Well, with this loss, they're going to lock the number 6. Moves Browns up to number 5. Now you're going to see the Browns versus UTF. Rep City got YMM. So now the team with the 11th worst offense plays the team with the 2nd worst defense, which is going to help YMM because his defense is pathetic. Now Rep City's 8th in defense, but they play against the number 1 offense in the league. At the end of the day, this team got to figure out what's going to happen come playoffs. You got the Wolverines next game, but nobody's going to give you a cookie for that because the Wolverines is not a great team. So whatever you do versus them is like it doesn't count. And I wouldn't even sleep on the Wolverines being able to make some stops. Their problem is a lack of committed players, not the lack of, and they don't have great talent. Rip City's the opposite. They got guys showing up. They got good talent. They have no leader, and they have no quarterback. And those are 2 major issues with this team. I don't know what's going to happen in the playoffs, but I'm not going to bet against them because they beat 99 last year.
Yeah.
They were up versus ILD last year. The difference is they have no hood. I don't think they're going to have an Izzy, so they're going to have to go with Test. Can Test beat YMM? I don't think he can, based on his platform of work that we've seen this season. Now I wouldn't put it past Rep City because they always find a way. So I'm putting it on Test to prove what he can do this playoff game. And Team X ends the season 2-4. Offensively, this team is not very good because of the quarterbacking position. I think Steph should be the starter. They have great weapons. I think Khalil should make the All-Star team. In his short resume at work, I think he should definitely make the All-Star team. But we're going to have to see how that works out. But this team is a team that we've seen lose to Carver 6-0.
Yeah.
They have enough talent to win games. The question is, Can they put it all together? Can Jay Will lead the charge? And can whoever start at quarterback limit their mistakes and score some points?
I mean, I would say Jay Will and Tim, because Tim has also been having a terrific season this year. I believe that he should win something. Definitely, he should be up there for Heart and Determination, because
the Johnny Rockstar Award.
Yes, this man has done everything for his team. He played receiver. He played blocker. He's been blitzing. Anything that he can do to help this team win, he's done. And that shows effort to help his team any way that he can. And he has to deserve some credit. And I think that they need him to play like that if they want to have a chance moving forward in the playoffs.
All right, we're going to wrap this one up. Team X beats Rep City 13-0. We'll be right back. Next game up, you're going to have Rep City versus Wolverines. Mm-hmm. Rep City's just coming off of a loss to Team X, their last game. Do you think that that's possible to carry over to this one and maybe the Wolverines can sneak one behind them?
I think that it is. With the way Tess has been quarterbacking the last few games of the season, I think that anything is possible. I think that Tess right now is his own worst enemy. He had, like we said throughout the season, he has the arm. He can get downfield with his arm. He can run when he needs to, but he does not have the quarterback mind in order to put everything together. And I think that is his main weakness. A lot of times when you see him in the pocket, he's looking for rushes that are not coming. He's looking like he's running for his life for rushes that are not coming. It seems like he always feels like he's under pressure, even though he has blockers there to protect him. Because he's not able to stay in the pocket, he doesn't make accurate throws. He kind of makes mistakes. He kind of makes risks, and because of that, it leads to a lot of turnovers. So he has to get himself settled. Somebody has to find a way to get him to calm down. That's the main thing. If he's able to do that, I think that this team can build from there. They're going to need to in this next game.
I mean, it's going to be frustrating to beat that out of everybody because he's his main blocker. And certain sacks he took or certain intos he threw or quarterback percentage going down, it hurts B-Dot's chances of being a block of the year.
Yeah.
It hurts him for making an all-star game. So, it's a little frustrating to them as a team. Plus, this team is exactly not what you thought they would be this season. But they've been playing musical chairs at quarterback. Meech has come back and played a lot better. Rel has been playing decent this year.
Yeah.
But they're not as put together as we thought they would be. Hopefully they could turn it around this game, especially coming off of a loss to Team X the last game. Hopefully they could just throw that to the side and figure out they want to finish this season strong by getting this win over the Wolverines. And the Wolverines has been playing undermanned all season. But Sam refuses to drop out, and I have so much respect for this guy. Even though the guy other teams say drop out, you shouldn't do it. This guy comes with the pain every week, brings his troops, whoever could come and ready to battle, he brings, and I will go to war with this guy anytime.
And all he needs is some dedicated guys that wants to come and play and make things happen. He doesn't really have that consistently. Because, it's... And I feel bad for him because he's a person that when he's given the opportunity, he himself is a playmaker. He was able to make the All-Star game last year as a tight end on offense. He's able to make things happen. He's a capable receiver out there. So he knows the game. He knows how to play. We just haven't seen anybody else play on the same level as him, and it's kind of hurt their team overall. And hoping that this can be a spark for them as they lead into the playoffs.
And we're going to jump right into the game with Wolverines getting the ball. Second down, Chuck on 4 rush is sacked by B-Dot. Third down, Chuck gets blitzed by Henry. Rolls right, throws to Josh in middle, off target, picked off by Meech. Rep City gets the ball back.
And first of all, just to let everybody know, that is not Chuck of Carvamar, obviously. So, Chuck coming in, trying to fill the position at quarterback for this Chuck.
It's a strong name to have.
Yes, and it kind of hurts him because, it's kind of, it comes with the package, the name. The performance has to come with the package, and it's hard to say so.
Like Michael B. Jordan?
Yes.
Being named after Michael Jordan?
I don't know how that relates to anything because he's an actor. He's not a football player. Oh. He's not a basketball player. He's not a baseball player. Close. No, there's an issue there for a reason.
He was a boxer.
That's a movie.
Oh, okay. My fault.
Okay, so they weren't able to get anything happen. They weren't able to get anything together on this drive. It's unfortunate, even though Chuck is trying to make something happen, they don't get nothing put together for this drive here.
Test on forward rush, throws deep to Debo, who has a step on Jacob on the sideline. Caught, big game, first down. The question was he inbounds?
And if you look at this play with D-Boy, we've seen a play similar to this in the last game where he leans over and he doesn't get the other foot down, and that's why they called it an incomplete pass. But if you look at this play here, as he catches the ball, he gets control of it, his other foot is down before he's lifted, and he gets his other foot down inbounds before he falls out. So that is a completed pass, a big play for Rep City, and this is one of the best passes that Tess has thrown.
Second to go, Tess throws the Debo in the front of the end zone, right through his ass, incomplete. Tess threw it hard for no reason, is what some of the players believe. I believe Debo got to catch it.
Yeah.
If you're a receiver, you want to be the best, you got to catch this ball. Fourth and goal, Tess finds B-Dot in the back of the end zone for the touchdown. Beasley gets the extra point, 7-0, Rep City.
And yes, they finally able to score, but this is something that you have to learn from. If you're able to get to this point of the field at first down, and you struggle to get into the end zone after that until fourth down, a stronger defense will stop you. And the fact that Wolverines are playing short, they're playing under man, that gives you the advantage. But you cannot struggle to score on plays like this, because eventually you're going to get stopped.
Wolverines struggle to move the ball, and they're going to have to punt. During the punt, Beastie catches it, runs it all the way across the field to the 15-yard line. Huge gain by the team, and they're building up a lot more momentum. Second down, Tess is blitzed by Sam. Rolls right, throws the B-Dot in the back of the end zone. Low, incomplete. Fourth down, Tess throws a ball on the gap to get him to the 3-yard line. He sags short in the end zone, turnover on downs. Wolverines are able to stop Rep City.
And there's a whole bunch of nonsense on this drive right here. Like I said before, Tess is doing too much on these plays here. They have a penalty in the middle of the play that sets them back. But at the end of the day, when they're there in the 5-yard line, Bolo's there for a reason. He has a history of catching inside the 5 passes for extra points, for touchdowns. He is a guy who uses his size to get passes like this. It's hard to get around him once he gets in position. They don't get him in the proper position because of that, they get stopped short. But I think Bolo should be used a lot more when you're in the red zone, because that's almost a definite touchdown waiting to happen.
We're going to have a change of quarterback. Slick is going to come in, and I guess the great Chuck from the Nega universe sits down.
Well, I don't know why you're saying that, but okay.
Because this is not the regular Chuck. So, I mean, no disrespect to this Chuck.
Yes.
But when you have a name like Chuck, you got to have a way to make some plays, and he unfortunately couldn't. Second down, Slick on forward rush, runs on the sideline for a few yards. Third down, Slick throws it to Josh in the gap. Knocked away by Meach. Wolverines have to punt. Now, I like the fact that Slick took shot downfield. He's showing his Rep City team he's not scared of him. He's not scared of them, I should say.
Yeah.
And he took a shot. I like it. Hopefully, the next drive they'll be able to capitalize, but they're going to end up turning over the ball. Tess throws a cello in the gap for a decent game. Third down, Tess is blitzed by Steve. Throws the Terrell in the gap, incomplete. If you look here, Cello was wide open, and Rep City's going to end up punting.
And if you look at this play here, Tess is running for his life yet again, but he doesn't see his receiver in the gap, Cello, wide open on this field. If he sees and spans the field as he's running, you will get a big play to keep the drive going, but because he's not able to and takes a risk downfield, it leads to a turnover that didn't have to happen here.
Second down, Slick on forward rush, throws it to Steve on the sideline, drop. Time runs out, taking us into the half, 7-0. Now, first of all, if I'm the Wolverines, we have the 13th defense in the league. That's the worst defense in the league. We just stopped Rep City twice. We stopped them and we made them punt. That's good signs. We just threw a pass deep and Steve dropped the ball. We can make plays. We just got to be disciplined and force these teams to respect us, because just like they put their pants on one leg at a time, that's the same thing we do. And we got to play football knowing that they're a human like us, they bleed like us, and we're not scared of them.
With this Rep City team, I tried to throw a positive thing here, because even though Rep City is winning this game, there's nothing positive that I have to say about this game right now in this half. This game shouldn't be ending in the half 7-0. It shouldn't.
True.
How many can you tell me how many turnovers this Rep City team had in this first half?
They got 1 turnover and they punted once.
Okay,
they had the ball 3 times.
They had the ball 3 times, only able to score once. All of that was because of Test. It wasn't because of this Wolverines defense. It's because of Test killing himself. Like I said before this game started, he is his own worst enemy out there. And because of that, it's forcing a lot of turnovers. It's forcing them to punt. They're not able to move the ball. And you have probably one of the best stars in the league right now, and Rel, not able to do anything because you don't even get him the ball.
True.
I don't understand that. So I would rather you take shots to him all day than to play the way that you are. You're playing like you're terrified out there. I'm being told that this man has been playing well in the BQFL or whatever.
Yes,
I don't see any of that right now. I see a person who's confused out there. And if he doesn't fix this, this can end badly. As soon as Wolverines get any type of spark, Rep City's in trouble, which is ridiculous.
Well, Rep City's going to get the ball in the second half, but they're going to get past the 50 for 4 and out. Test throws the cell on the sideline for a decent game. 3rd down. Test is going to throw the Beastie on the sideline, who beats Harold, caught in the end zone for the touchdown. B-Dot gets the extra point. 13-zip. Great throw by Test to score a touchdown.
And he's finally able to collect himself, stay in the pocket, and make a precise throw to Beastie in the end zone.
Yep.
This is what they need. I don't know what happened in the halftime, but the first drive, he makes probably the second best throw in the game. And that is what you need to do. Find your receiver open and take a shot right into the end zone. They need to see more of that moving forward in this game.
2nd down, after getting the first, Slick throws deep to Jacob in the gap. Meach is there, incomplete. 3rd down. Slick is blitzed by B.I. Throws deep to Josh, one-on-one with Steve-O. Josh with the great one-hand catch, but with Steve there for the big gain at the 5-yard line. I like Slick. He takes shots downfield, and Josh goes up and makes a great one-hand catch, and we got to say it because we always say it. Sorry, my man Steve-O. Definitely got moss, dog.
But the funny thing is, if you look at this play, he doesn't even jump for this. He just reaches out and just snags this ball like it was his all along. Steve-O is a better defensive player than this, but it seems like he lost the ball in the air, and unfortunately he gets mossed on this play for a big game for the Wolverines.
4th and goal, Slick throws to Steve, cutting in the back of the end zone, off target, turnover on downs. They're not able to capitalize after the huge play, and Rep City gets to stop.
And if you look at this play right here, it seems like Slick didn't give himself time to make anything happen because he throws it right away as he saw Steve cut in the back of the end zone. If you're going to throw it away, you got to be accurate. That's unfortunate that he missed him in the back of the end zone because Steve was open, but they couldn't capitalize on this play.
3rd and long, Test throws the Beastie on the sideline, who gets past Howard with a nice block by Cello. Beastie runs for a big gain, pick up the 1st down. But if you look here, Slick gets ejected for cursing. Henry of Rep City gets flagged for cursing. He's getting ejected. Both guys are gone.
And it seems like they got animated on this big play here. One upset that they got so much yardage, and the other one hyped that their team got a big play. So they both get ejected on both sides, but it hurts the Wolverines more because Slick was their quarterback.
Yep.
Was the only way that they were actually moving the ball, and they lose him late in this game.
And I like the fact that Beastie's getting more involved in the passing game. He's not the biggest receiver in the world, but I think that's one of his strengths because he gets lost in coverage and he's able to find gaps. Great play by him. 2nd down, Test throws to Meach on the sideline, who runs to the 10-yard line. Last down, Test throws it to Lucky, open in the front of the end zone. That's going to be dropped. Turnover on downs, giving it right back to the Wolverines.
And after killing Test throughout this game, I cannot blame him for this play here. Lucky has to catch this pass here. That was a touchdown pass. And, you know, you were wide open. What? Is there such thing as being too open on this play? You were right there for the end zone. Your quarterback is already struggling in a game that they could have put away a long time ago, but you do not help him with dropping this pass. This game could have been over, but you keep it going with this drop.
Josh comes back into, Josh comes in to throw. He's going to throw to Sam in the gap. Picked off by Rel, who runs it across the field on the sideline into the end zone. End of the game, 19-0, Rep City with the win.
And this is a statement made by Rel in this game. Remember how you said that he has to be LeBron James out there?
Yep.
He took matters into his own hands and snatches this interception and runs it back for the touchdown. That's how Rel has to play moving forward.
I agree.
Without him playing on both sides, dominant on the field, they almost have absolutely no chance out there. Test on offense has to find this man the ball. I don't know how he's going to do it, but you got to get him involved because you see, Rel, whenever he's involved, he can win games for you by himself. And that's one of the reasons why they were able to close out in this game.
Wolverines lost this game. Unfortunately, got shut out again. But you always try to find the silver lining.
Mm-hmm.
I like Slick. I like him. The kid could throw downfield. He could scramble to buy some time. Josh made a great catch with one hand. They got a few pieces that Sam can build off of, especially leading into the playoffs. Forget this game. This was more of a show and tell.
Yeah.
You showed what you could do, and now you can tell your guys what you need them to do from here. This team can make plays. They're not the best team in the league, but now they got some talent, you see, and some playmakers that can make some plays.
And on top of that, before I get into Rep City, they have nothing to lose at this point.
House money.
That's another thing that they got to play like. That they have nothing to lose. They're putting it all in the next game. Whatever they have to make to get to, you know, keep going to
House
keep going
money,
in the
like we
playoffs.
say.
Like, yeah, that's the perfect phrase for them. They're playing on house money. That's exactly what it is. So at the end of the day, they put everything on the line, put themselves in position to win the best they can, and play as hard as they can. And I think that they can surprise the next team if they're able to come in with that mentality going into their first playoff game. With Rep City, I'm glad that they were able to come away with a win in this game. But a lot of mistakes that I saw in this game, I fear that they're going to make in their next game. And if they don't fix it, they can be one and done in this playoffs.
Yeah.
So, test is the key to how far they're going to go this season. They have playmakers with Meach. They have Rel. They have Beaskey, who's stepping up. They have Debo making a few catches in this game. They have Horst, who's a capable tight end.
Cello.
They have Cello, who's been doing whatever he can as a blocker and a tight end. You have Reem, who's been stepping up on defense.
Steve-O.
You have Steve-O,
who's
you have, like I said, I can go on and on about a lot of the guys that can be playmakers when they need to be. But it all falls on Test to put everything together.
I think it all falls on Rel. They go as far as Rel can give him. Tess is not changing his style. It's playoff time. So at the end of the day, they need to surround themselves with Rel fever.
But
whatever it takes to get Rel the ball, that's what you need to do.
But that's impossible when you have Tess running away from invisible goalposts out there.
Well, maybe Rel can throw it to himself. Because the man showed, as you saw the pick six he just got, he can make plays when he has the ball in his hand. Him and Meach are two guys, if you get the ball in their hand, they can make something happen.
And it seems like that's how it's going to have to be moving forward because at the end of the day, that's the main thing that I worry about. You got to get Rel in this game, but I don't know how confident I am in Tess making more mistakes than positive things happen in the field. We're just going to have to see in their first game of the playoffs.
We're going to wrap this one up. Rep City coming away with the win, so they split for the day. Lost to Team X, but then beat Wolverines. This game, they beat Wolverines 19-0. We'll be right back. Real Tough Talk.